Bonjour darling! Today I come back to you with a review video for a book written by one of my old friends, S.A. Tedman. I have known her for a few years, even though we haven't seen each other in some time, and I was really proud of her when I discovered that she had started writing and publishing her short stories and her novel on Amazon and her website. I have a review for, I think, all of her work on Goodreads that I will link down below in the description box along with the link of her website. Today I will specifically talk about her novel, The DreamWalker. The DreamWalker is about a young boy named Adrien, and he lives in France. And he has to go away in England because he got a scholarship for a school, the Delacour Academy, near London. It's an art school, it's really expensive and he's poor, but he's so talented that he got a full scholarship and he's really happy about it, even though he suffers from anxiety. So moving away in another country is not that easy for him, but he bottles up all of his courage and he goes on this journey. Back there, he meets a young boy named Alan. They are 18 for Alan and 17 for Adrien in the beginning of the book. He lives here. He is the adoptive son of the headmistress of the Delacour Academy, and they become friends, etc, etc. It's really sweet, but you all know something is about to happen. Well, the story opens with a really weird dream that Adrien has, and soon enough other dreams will happen, and also daydreaming is involved, and it's really weird. He may not be the only one that has those dreams and hallucination, and maybe there is a little bit more to the Delacour Academy than meets the eye. It's a fantasy story and I adored it. Even though the story is written by one of my friends, one of my acquaintances, I will try and stay as objective as I can while I review this. I gave it 5 stars. It's an amazing debut, but I will also give a few points that could be improved, because all debuts, all books really have room for improvement, even the 5 stars. I will start with the bad points and end on a good note with the good ones. Bad point number 1, the pacing. The book is a chunker. It's more than 500 pages and it's a big commitment, especially since sometimes at least I, had the feeling that the story was a little bit too long. Some scenes were really long, especially since, well, it's both a good and a bad point because it really depends on your taste. I really loved it, but I know that for some people it's a downer. The descriptions of the clothes, the appearance of the characters, and especially the rooms and environments are really precise and detailed. They can go on multiple paragraphs, and I love it because I love really detailed environment. I love knowing where I am and everything that's around the characters and me. But I know that for some people it's a bad point because when it drags too long, they get annoyed. It's one of the critics that are made for classics, for example, like Tolkien or the French authors like Zola, etc., etc., it could be seen as a bad point. Number 3, I had heard of love at first sight, but it's the first time that I witnessed friendship at first sight. Adrian, I don't know, I know that he's portrayed as a little bit naive and candid, but almost everyone he meets, he decides they are good people and they are his friend at first sight. The butler, the cook, the librarian, Alan, and a lot of people. It's a little bit weird. Friendship, is it always that easy? I don't know. I don't think so. Even in the most profound friendships, there are, well, we are human beings. Sometimes we fight, sometimes we argue, and it's no big deal because we forgive each other. But especially the friendship between Adrian and Alan become really strong and really profound, really deep, really fast. I don't know how many times I said really. So it was a bit unrealistic for me. It could have been improved, but as I said, it's a 5 stars, so I managed to pass through that. It wasn't such a big deal for me, but well, I mention it. Now, the good points. There are a lot, but since I gave 3 bad points, I'm going to give 3 good points and let you discover all the other ones. First, the characters. Even though the friendship was a bit unrealistic in my eye, I still find that the characters were really fleshed out and interesting. They had their good points and bad points. For example, I will just talk about the main character, something we learn right from the start. Adrian is a little bit naive and candid and introverted, but he's also kind and generous and brave and etc. I could talk about him for 1 hour without any difficulties, which is the sign of a good character. Also, the world building was so interesting. There is politic machinations, fantasy environments, magic, even though it seems to be a soft system. We had a few explanations, but not that much in that first book. But since it's an introduction to that magic system and the world, and it's hidden and such, I guess that maybe in the next books we will have a little bit more infos on the magic system. I don't know, but it was still really fascinating and I really loved it. It's a story that takes place in so many different places. I don't want to spoil you because discovering each and every one of those places was such a pleasure for me. I want you to live it too. Number 3, the writing style. S.A. Tedman, even though, as I said, is really wordy about her descriptions, well, I loved it. So if you love lengthy descriptions, you will be in for a ride. And she has a style that's really modern and fast and easy to read. It flows like water, there is a lot of rhythm, and all the dialogues are realistic. I could see teens talking to each other like that. I could see a butler talking to his masters like that. I really, really, really loved the style. Especially for a first book, it was really well done. She really mastered her, she has found her voice, and I love that. The book is available on Amazon in Kindle format. You can read it on any device thanks to the app, your phone, your computer, or your Kindle, and it's available for less than €5 in this time of confinement. It's ideal. Just to refresh your mind, I mean, even though there are 500 pages, more than 1,000 if you read on your phone like I did, I read it in just a few days, like 2 days and a half. And if you want to take your time, you will have to read for quite a few weeks. This way you can support an indie author, which is always a good thing. So I really hope that you give her a chance if you want an easy read that in an interesting fantasy world with well-written characters and amazing environments and a soft magic system that goes a long way. You will find it in the DreamWalker by S.A. Tedman. As always, I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and to hit the notification bell to be notified of any of my new content. You can also follow me on social media, all links down below. And as always, au revoir, darling!